What's up, my friend? DK here. It is officially Teachable Tuesday. It is the 16th of April, my friends. Welcome. We got an awesome lesson for you guys tonight, so make sure you guys pay attention. Obviously, if you guys are watching the replay over at teachabletuesdayreplays.com, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Also, go ahead and smash that like button and drop a hashtag replay comment down in the comments. I'm going to let everybody in, and we're going to officially get this party started here. So here we go, my friends. Here we go. Here we go. Awesome, 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 my friends. Welcome. Good to see everybody in here. What's happening? What's happened? Drop a fired up comment, guys, down in the comments if you guys are fired up and excited, ready to be here. And hopefully you guys are taking massive, massive, massive action right now. I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing a lot of good things happening with the faceless content. I see a lot of you guys starting to use that, what we rolled out last week. I've seen a lot of you guys see increases in your engagement, increases in your views, all good things. And of course, it obviously opens up an entirely new world of marketing and things that we can talk about and obviously get excited about with our marketing. And some of you guys are literally kicking ass with your marketing, talking about the faceless stuff and being able to utilize the faceless stuff. So awesome, awesome stuff right there. Tonight, what we're going to be going over is we're going to be diving into just still letting a lot of people in here, a lot of late bloomers in there. A lot of the feedback that I've seen from the 90-day challenge. And obviously, guys, do me a favor, make sure that your mics are muted. That would be super cool. A lot of feedback I've seen coming through as we're going through the 90-day challenge. If you guys don't know what the 90-day challenge is, dive into your app, dive into the desktop site, whatever you want to do. Scroll down to the bottom and go ahead and check out the 90-day challenge. There's two challenges there. There's one with income producing activities. There's another one with a mindset mastery that Kirsty put together. So go check those out. You know, when it comes to doing a 90-day challenge, when it comes to really pushing yourself, you have to now do me a favor. Those of you guys that are participating or started to jump into the 90-day challenge, do me a favor and just put the number 90 down in the chat. Let me know if you guys have participated in any of the 90-day challenges. And I know, obviously, you know, I do it. I go live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. I understand a lot of people have jobs and all that, but I also did it around my schedule so I could know that I could commit to it 1000% versus doing it at like 9 p.m. I wanted to make sure that I could commit to it to put the value out there and the accountability out there for you guys. So a lot of 90s coming in. Appreciate that. And again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, dive in. I'll share my screen super quick here and show you guys what's up. But what we're putting together for you guys tonight really stems from some of the feedback that I've seen come in from the 90-day challenge. And when you go into the team site, guys, you literally drop down and, you know, you guys will scroll all the way down and you can see the live registration link. You can also see the replay list. So for those of you guys that are new, you know, just starting to get plugged in, you guys can go back and watch any replay and just go through these videos and get caught up. The first ones are definitely the most important ones because I break down specifically the 90-day massive action game plan. And you don't have to participate in this. And I let you guys know right up front that this is not going to be an easy 90 days. This is going to be a challenging 90 days. Okay. But this is what the leaders are doing. This is what folks like, you know, myself, Kirsty, Catherine, many others, this is what leaders are doing. We are pushing ourselves very, very hard right now so we can get out there and we can go crush it. And we're going to do it for 90 straight days. This is not a 90-day dip your toes in the water. This is not a 90-day, let me think about it. This is not a 90-day, yeah, I'll kind of do it a little bit. This is a 90-day massive action game plan. Like, get off your butt and get to work. Figure it out. Find a way. So every single day, I do accountability. And sometimes as I'm doing this accountability, what I ask from you guys is, and this is what led us to tonight, right? All right, Michael, welcome. Michael commented that he's brand new as of yesterday, and you're here, which is absolutely awesome. Guys, just make sure that when you guys are commenting, look down at the little drop-down menu before you hit the comment. Make sure it goes to everyone versus just coming to me. So that way everybody can see it. But as I'm going through the 90-day challenge, I'll give you guys a quick little overview. Here's how it works, right? The first few videos, I'm walking you through each of the 90-day actions. So, posting your reels and posting your content every single day, going to Facebook, doing a standard Facebook post, doing your reach outs. In other words, growing your network, growing your audience, growing, your Facebook friends, reaching out to those people, basically, doing cold reach outs. Posting a full-length YouTube video every single day and doing a webinar once a week or every other week. It's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work, but this is what the leaders are doing. This is what massive action actually looks like. Okay. So if you want to see and understand and know what massive action looks like, that's it, right? So every single day now, what we do is we say, hey, roll call, right? How many of you guys yesterday did your 3 reach outs? How many of you guys yesterday did your YouTube video? How many of you guys yesterday did your 3 or more short form videos? How many of you guys yesterday did XYZ, whatever it is, right? And then I ask you and say, if you did it, comment this. If you didn't do it, comment no and tell me why. And that right there is where it gets interesting, because the whole point of the 90-day challenge, guys, is to have accountability. You're not being accountable to me. You're being accountable to yourself. And when I ask you guys, hey, tell me why you didn't do something, I could tell, I could feel it get quiet. Because some of you guys like, I didn't have time, or life got in the way. I've seen those comments come up. I didn't have time. Life got in the way. I had family visiting, or I just didn't do it, right? Over time, you're probably going to get tired of using the same excuses, right? Because how long can you use that stuff? And as you guys have heard me talk lately, especially in the 90-day challenge, how long do you want to let your excuses define you? How long, if you say, I don't have time, or I don't know how, or, I don't have a big Facebook following, or I don't have a lot of friends, or I don't have, a lot of leads or whatever. How long do you want to let that keep going? How long do you want that to be your go-to excuse? So you guys gotta, and that's why I ask for accountability. If you didn't do something, just tell me why you didn't do it, because I want you to be accountable to you so you can learn from it. Mickey, what's up, man? Welcome. Mickey just got started on Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys here, especially you new folks that are there. Awesome. Love it. But the whole point is, guys, a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing is I didn't have time, trying to juggle everything. And plain and simple, the 90-day challenge, it's hard. There's a lot of work to do there. And like I said, it's not going to be easy, but I'll give you guys a great example. Kirsty came in on Monday, and she walked us through what she was doing. She literally showed us her calendar, and man, that girl's putting in the work, legit putting in the work. And rightfully so. She is the #1 recruiter in the entire company, most amount of sales. Literally just had the best week that she's ever had in GPU a week and a half ago. I mean, we're talking almost 10 figures in 1 week, guys. So plain and simple, 5 figures in 1 week. Sorry, not 10. That would be a lot. Almost, 5 figures in a week. And the reason for that, guys, is because she's pushing herself hard, and she's ruling out those excuses, and she's getting in there, and she's going to find a way to do it, right? So you guys got to ask yourself, do you want to put the effort in, or do you want to come up with excuses? What do you guys want to do? Let me know right now. Either comment effort or excuses. What do you want to do? Do you want to put the effort in, or do you want to reach in your pocket and pull out a standard excuse? I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't know how, right? We all know those excuses. They all exist. But if you put the effort in, you can get the results out. All right. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is we're going to be diving into how to best get the most out of your business and get all of this stuff done. Okay. So I put this little doc together for you. All right. And Catherine and I talked about this yesterday a little bit about kind of breaking down your business and understanding everything that is involved in your business. So plain and simple, it's all about you. And please, like, I know you guys love the technical stuff when we do those technical trainings here. When we get into, here's some short form content, here's some easy stuff you guys can go grab and go. Here's some videos you can go clone. That's always the easy techie stuff that everybody looks for. What's the easiest way that I could, go grow my business? This is probably one of the most important aspects right here. So do not take tonight's training lightly, please. This is probably more important than any other training that we've ever done. Okay. So if you understand that, comment the word important right now. Write it down. This is important. Because at the end of the day, and you hear Kirsty talk about this all the time, about showing up, about being present, about being in proximity, right? She talks about that all the time. You have to show up for your business. If you don't, it's super, super easy to reach into your pocket and pull out an excuse. It's super, super easy to be like, oh, my day just got away. It just got away from me. How many times have you guys used that excuse? The day just got away from me. If you ever use that excuse, you didn't prioritize your day. You didn't give certain things priority that probably deserved priority. So I've said this time and time again in our training, in our 90-day game plan, guys, right? If you're not getting, and this is important, so please pay attention. If you're not getting the results that you want, it's one of two things. You can write this down, make a note. If you're not getting the results that you want, there's either something you don't know or something you're not doing. Somebody please go use that in a piece of content because that would be great. I'll say it again. If you're not getting the results you want, there's either something you don't know or something you're not doing. So here's where it gets really simple. And this is where I like to keep it simple. You can't use the first excuse. You can't say, I don't know how. Because you have this. All of you have access to this. All of you have access. You know what? Here's what's also really, really cool. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a super great site that can help you guys when you're in a jam. So you guys have this, right? You guys have all of our replays. You have mindsetmondayreplays.com. You have teachabletuesdayreplays.com. You have focusfridayreplays.com. You have our Facebook group. You have legit everything you need at your fingertips. Okay. So you can't use the excuse, I don't know how. It's invalid. Okay. So let's rule that out. So if you're not getting the results you want, it's either something you don't know, which you can't use that now, or something you're not doing. So now it comes down to you doing the work. Does everybody understand that? Does that make sense? If so, comment makes sense. Okay. If you're not getting the results you want, now it just comes down to you're just not putting in the work, or you're just not putting in enough work. So let's keep it really, really simple. Okay. Now, I got to regather my train of thought. Sometimes I go off on a train and I was like, oh, and then I think of something. I was like, oh, I got to circle back to that. And then I forget to circle back to it, but it was like a really good point. But like the point is this, guys, like you have all of this right at your fingertips. Okay. So make sure that you know and understand that you just got to go do the work, which is also why I rolled out the 90-day game plan. And I saw some comments come in like, hey, is it best to pick up where you're at right now, or is it best to start from the beginning? If you're new, if you've been around for a while, but you want to get into the 90-day game plan, always, always, always start at the beginning. Okay. However, if you guys do get in a jam Let's say that there's, an answer that you're looking for in here, you can't find it. You're trying to figure out either how to edit something, how to do something, how to, work a device, work a piece of technology, whatever it is. There's a really great site out there that helps with answers. And some of you guys have heard of it, but there's a really amazing website that when you're in a jam and you're looking for information, it's really, really great. I'll spell it out for you. Ready? Hopefully you guys have a pen. Go to this website anytime you need information on the niche that we're in. Okay. Google.com. Okay. Google. You guys familiar with Google? It's great for information. Okay. Yeah. A little bit of sarcasm there, but the point is, guys, like sometimes the simplest thing will hang you up. Don't be afraid to be resourceful. Don't be afraid to be resourceful. Okay. So what I want to talk about tonight, what I want to get into is planning out your day. And this is where this has got to work for you, because my schedule is not going to be your schedule. Catherine's schedule is not going to be your schedule. Kirsty's schedule is not going to be your schedule. John's schedule is not going to be your schedule. David's schedule is not going to be your schedule. Lori's schedule is not going to be your schedule. Only your schedule will be your schedule. Okay. So we're going to go through and we're going to break down all of the different tasks that could be associated with your business. And we're going to base it right now. We're going to base it off of this document right here, which is the 90-day game plan. Okay. The 90-day massive action game plan. These are the daily income producing activities that we're going to take a look at. So we're going to look at, how long does it take to, grow your audience and reach out to a couple new people every single day? How long does it take to do these tasks? What does that look like for you? Okay. So when it says example list, that's right where that document's going to go, right to that massive action game plan. Now, email marketing. This is something that in the past, I've done so many trainings on this where we would teach and try to, teach people how to do email marketing. Well, guess what? We do that for you. So that's something that, if you want to do it in addition to what we're doing, you certainly can, but we email all of your leads for you. So these are just example income producing activities. So writing emails would be one. Posting on social media would be another one. Okay. So you could be doing, creating the post, writing the post, engaging with the post. So, answering comments, questions, that sort of stuff, following up with any leads, people that have comments and questions, replying back, messaging people, all that stuff kind of falls into that. Okay. Networking. I just mentioned this earlier. Okay. So reaching out, what does it mean to be like, doing a reach out? Well, if you're participating in the 90-day challenge, I actually covered that in day number 2. Okay. So in wrong doodad. Am I over here? Yep. In day number 2, I had Bill on as my guest, and we talked about how to do a reach out, how to do an effective reach out, what that looks like, what that sounds like. I even demoed it for you live. I literally picked up my phone and I left a voice message for someone. I showed you guys what that looks like. Okay. Also, going and adding new friends to your friends list so you can grow your friends list over on Facebook, and you can bring people in that are in your niche. It's not about having more friends. It's about having more people around you that are interested in what you're doing. Okay. So networking, reaching out, messaging people. Okay. Creating content, short form videos, Facebook posts, YouTube videos, any type of video content, that's an income producing activity. What does that look like? How long is that going to take? We're going to break that down. Following up with leads, texting, calling, Facebook messaging, circling back on your leads. You're getting people to go through your funnel. You're getting the cha-ching notification on your app. There should be some type of follow-up throughout the day, or you should be putting aside time to see what that looks like, right? Anything there? Catherine, do me a favor if you are available. Anything else as far as like an income producing activity in here that maybe I missed, maybe I wasn't thinking of, maybe that people could be doing, but besides kind of like some of the basic stuff here, anything that I might have missed?
I I think you really hit it. The only thing that I would say, maybe add also engaging in your stories, like as far as like Facebook, Instagram goes. Again, it gives people a really good insight to like behind the scenes of who you are. And even if it's not like, hey, you're creating a video or anything like that, like people can get to know, like, and trust who you are. So I would just add that personally.
Okay. Oh, I lost you. You muted. I hear Rinley though.
Okay, I was saying, oh no, she's just chowing down. Don't mind her.
So, we just kind of want to spell out like what could be some of the activities that you're going to be doing throughout the day. So you can kind of visually see it. So, you may be doing some of these, you may be doing all of these. All right. Now, realistically, what we want to talk about is how much time are you specifically going to need for each or all of these activities? Is this going to be a daily activity? Is it going to be a weekly activity? Now, for me, I'll give you an example. This is what I did. So when I first got started, and I'll tell you guys a little bit of a story. When I first got started, it was January of 2016, the very beginning of the year. And my wife had gotten pulled into a network marketing opportunity. If I said the name, most of you guys would know it. She got pulled into a network marketing opportunity, and because her cousin was doing this business, and she said, reached out to my wife. She said, "Hey, you're joining me." Like, not even like, "Do you want to join?" or like, "Hey, check out what I'm doing." She literally just reached out and said, "Hey, you're joining me." And next thing I know, like my wife is in the business doing this thing, and I see her going through the standard stuff. She's making a list of all her friends and family. She's getting out on social media. She's doing this thing and whatever. And that for me, I did at home businesses back in my 20s. I did them for several years. Some of them I was pretty good at. Some of them I kind of fell on my face because, I thought just because I signed up, I would make a ton of money, and that wasn't reality. But what was really awesome is I saw my wife working hard. And, next thing I know, like she sponsored a few people, then she sponsored a few more, then she sponsored a few more. Next thing I know, she like earned $1,000 bonus, and then like she's growing her team. I'm like, holy crap! Like, look at her go. It was like a feel good moment. It was like a really feel good moment. So I just said, I'm like, babe, put me in. Like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Like, I see you working. I'm gonna go work right alongside you. So I got in there, and of course, like, what do I do? My brain's going on overdrive, and I try to go reinvent the wheel. I literally try. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do this, and blah 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 blah. Long story short, like 6 to 8 months later, like I fell on my face, like wasn't getting the results that I wanted because I was literally just trying to do everything, throwing enough mud against the wall, hoping that it would stick because I didn't really have any good training. And then I found a system that, like, I always knew for years and years and years, I always knew becoming a full time successful home based entrepreneur. I always knew it was possible, but I didn't know what the actual work was. And that's what, for 8 months or so, I just kind of flopped around, like a fish out of water, just flopping around. That was me just trying to figure it all out. And then I came across this one business opportunity that cost me a lot of money, a lot of money. And let me spell it out for us. Some of you guys are like, oh, $100 is a lot of money. Please. It's relative. Okay. I invested about 40 grand into a business opportunity. Okay. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to make this work. So what I had to do in order to make that work is I had to literally pull out a calendar, and I had to figure out, at the time I was a full-time store manager for Home Depot. And if you've ever worked retail and you've ever been salary in a salaried retail position, you know that the work, like, you work till you go home, you work till you're done. You don't like literally punch a clock. Oh, 8 hours, time to go. Like, I'd be at the store 8, 9, 10, 11, sometimes 12 hours a day, plus an hour commute to and from. but I knew it was possible. I knew what was out there. I knew the potential I had. So I had to say, okay, I finally found something that has decent training. I finally found something that has good income potential. Here's what I'm going to do. I pulled out a calendar and I had to figure out, when am I going to work my business? When, like, what does that look like? And I literally had to have a sit down conversation with my wife, who at this point, once we got to this point, she was kind of slowing down in her own business because she wasn't really feeling it. But for me, like, my fire was totally lit. I just said, hey, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. I made that decision. And I'll actually kind of share with you the day that it happened. Okay. So for those of you guys that don't know me personally, we had a son. His name was Lucas. And back in 2016, he was, in and out of the hospital all the time. He had a lot of conditions, in and out of the hospital all the time. And we were just literally like, had all these hospital bills piling up. We also had some house bills piling up. And I was working my job and the job was going fine. The money was decent, but we're still trying to like juggle life and, pay down debt, pay off bills, credit cards, hospital bills. And I remember the moment, it was specifically the moment for me when we were sitting at the dining room table and this conversation was coming up in the fold. But what really solidified it for me is I had a stack of bills, of house bills in front of me. My wife had a stack of hospital bills in front of her. And she said, I'm sick of this effing life. And when she said that, it was like someone just took a dagger and like jammed it into my ribs and twisted. And that was the moment where I said, I'm going to figure this out. Whatever the hell it takes. And I know it works because I see other people doing it. I know if other people can do it, I can do it too. If other people can make money online, so can I. Like, we're no different. You watching right now on Teachable Tuesday, like, you're no different from me. You have the same potential that I do, the same potential as Kirsty or Catherine or anybody else in any other business. You have the same potential. You just have to want it. Does that make sense? Comment makes sense if that makes sense. So for me, back in 2016, when my wife said that phrase, I was like, shit, like, it's go time. It's time to figure this out. So I literally pulled out a calendar like you see on your screen. And I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. And I just said, all right, Monday through Friday, right? Usually I was off on Wednesday, and then the following week I was off on like Tuesday and Friday, right? So I worked 4 days one week and 6 days the next. This is how my schedule was. So, these days I was off right here. And then basically what I did is I said, okay, what I'm going to do and this is my example, guys, but this is how it worked. And this is how I figured out how to make my business a priority. Not when I get around to it, not when not when like, oh, I might have time to make a video today. We'll see. No, like, I planned this shit out. Okay. So every day that I was working, I was home at like, we'll just say 6, right? I got home at 6, and you got to get home. You visit, you hang out with your family, you cook dinner. Our son usually went to bed around 9-ish. And then I would spend a little bit of time with my wife. And then I said, okay, after that, I'm locking myself in the office. So from about 9, give or take, until about 1 in the morning, or until I fell asleep, or 2 a.m. sometimes 3 a.m. I stayed up later. I got up earlier. I committed to that. And I said, on these days, okay, I'm going to work from 9 to 1. And I literally pulled out the calendar like you guys are seeing. I said, so, visually she could kind of see it. And I had to negotiate with her and say, this is my commitment. We're still going to, my days off, we're still going to do family stuff, right? On the weekends, or at least on Saturday, we're going to do family stuff, right? But on these days, I'm going to be working from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And I even said, I'm in the office, the door's shut, don't bother me. This is my business time. I'm working my business. Okay. That's how I made that work. Okay. So, spread this out throughout the entire month. And then on Sunday nights, I was doing the same thing from Sunday nights, roughly when he went to bed, same thing. I would always do a Sunday night webinar, a Sunday night. I called them like hangouts. I did a Sunday night hangout, and I was just teaching and training, teaching and training, teaching and training, teaching and training. I would go learn something. ILT. You guys know ILT, right? Invest, learn, teach. All throughout the week, whatever I learned this week, I taught it on Sunday. Okay. ILT. Invest your time, sometimes money, learn something, turn around, teach that to other people. And that's what I turned into my Sunday nights. So 8 p.m. Okay. Until about 1 a.m. every Sunday night. And that was the schedule that I put out there for myself, for my accountability and everything that I was going to do. So what I would do for you is, this is just an example, but all you got to do is go to Google. Remember that site I gave you? That's really convenient for looking up information. Go to Google and you just type in printable calendar. Okay. Now you can print it out if you want. You can take a screenshot of it. You can, save it on your phone, whatever you want to do, make notes on it, whatever. I like to actually like print stuff out. Like this is our 90-day game plan checklist. I like to physically have this in front of me, even though, saving it on your desktop, your device, whatever is cool. I like to physically have it. Just like I like to physically have books, the books that I read. Although, yeah, I might have them on Audible. I also have the hard copy. That's just me. So in order to start treating your business like a business and rule out the excuse of time, you're going to have to figure out, when are you going to work your business? What does that look like for you? How can you weave that into your existing life where, if you're working a job, if you have kids, family, activities, sports, entertainment, whatever it is, how can you still show up for your business on a consistent basis? What does that look like? Okay. So with this visual, does this make sense here, guys? If so, comment makes sense. I want you guys to kind of understand like what I went through when I first got started and how I was going to make this work. Okay. Now, Catherine, if you would, I know you're juggling in there. If you can, share about how, like, when you first got started, you were doing, double duty. You were being a mom, you were working, full time. You had your full time job, and then you were starting to build a business. So you're kind of doing like three things at once. Maybe, share with everybody like how you first got started and figured out how you're going to juggle all of that.
Yeah, of course. So, as you just mentioned, yes, I was full-time mom mode all the time and full-time job as well, cooking, cleaning, all the duties. And I really had to figure out when I got started. And as you mentioned, there was not anybody who gave me this roadmap or anything. I really had to sit down and have a talk with myself of, yeah, when am I going to put the time into my business? What time can I devote? Because honestly, I don't have time. Like, you know what I mean? Like my time is most of the time taken, or else I go to bed, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So for me, it was okay. I get up at 5. I make sure that I poured into myself every single morning, starting with a podcast. And that was really to kind of get myself in gear for, just staying focused, because one of the number one things of why, things don't last for most people is because you're not focused. You're kind of like all over the place. I needed to focus and I needed to remember why I'm doing this every day. So I always poured into myself with, it may be a motivational speaker, podcast, or something for the first, like, I'd say hour of my day. get to work. I was at work, actively working, but for me personally, again, everybody's story is going to be different. Your job's wasn't my job. I had about a spare hour the first thing in the morning when I got there. So I made sure everything was situated and I devoted that first hour to my business, like every single day without fail. And this is during the work week. I worked Monday through Friday. Of course, we'll get to my weekends. And I would work and through the day until about noon. I had another hour because I was on my lunch break. So if you guys have lunch breaks, for me, it wasn't about, oh, I'm just going to relax. No, got to work. So did another hour at lunchtime. And then after I got out of work on the way home, I was recording B-roll. I was, again, still trying to do anything that I could, whether it be 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. I'd get home, it's mom duties, putting my daughter down for a nap. So I would get her down and I give my business another like 30 minutes while she slept. I worked. And was I tired? Yes, I was absolutely so tired, but I still made sure that I did it. And of course, duties of cooking and cleaning. And when she went to bed, I'd say I gave my business about another 2 hours a day before calling it a night. And again, because I had to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I made sure that I stayed up long enough after she went to bed to devote an extra 2 hours. And that was every single day. Now, on the weekends, around her schedule, and of course, me cooking and cleaning, I worked all the time. All the time. I mean, of course, if I had family things going on, I worked around that. But for me personally, guys, I gave my business every spare ounce of time that I had. It wasn't about, oh, when do I got time? No, it's I'm not doing anything. I need to work on my business. That was my mentality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. You're squeezing it in wherever you can, but you also, I think the important part here to understand is you made it a priority. You didn't make excuses and say, I'll just wait for some free time. Oh, I'm too busy. Like you made that free time a priority, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. If I was not doing anything, there was no sitting on the couch watching TV. It was okay. I could be, working on my business, and that is absolutely what I did.
yeah. And I think that's a good way to think about it too, because like, if you're like plain and simple, if you are like, you got to ask yourself how bad you want it. Because if you are watching shows on Netflix or Hulu, you don't want it bad enough. And that's just the truth, and some of you guys are like, whoa, we need downtime. We got to relax. We got to, like, I get it. I get it. You do have to have some downtime. You do have to unwind. And I'll be the first one to tell you that there's plenty of times when I literally got to be like, okay, I got to step away. Like I need 5 minutes. I need an hour. I need whatever. I got to go step away. I'll go for a walk around the block. I'll sit out back on the patio. I'll sip a drink. I'll get some sunshine, little vitamin D. Works wonders, by the way. And sometimes you got to step away, but if you're like sitting on the couch and you're like binge watching TV and you're like, man, I'm not making any sales. It's like, no shit. So you gotta, you gotta be real with yourself and just be like, are you putting in the work that you could be putting in? So what we wanted to do is break it down for you guys here and be like, realistically, like as realistically as we could possibly get, like, what is it going to take for you? Like when you go and you look at one of these calendars, what time frames do you realistically need if you're going to break this down and figure this stuff out? Okay. So personal development, this should be part of everybody's day. Now, the beauty about this is you could weave this in so many different ways. You don't have to literally be like, okay, I need 1 hour so I could do my personal development. Like you could, if you're commuting to work, if you're on a bus, if you're on a train, if you're in your car and you're driving, like figure out some of this stuff you guys are going to be able to sandwich together. But again, only you are going to be able to figure this out. Like I can't figure it out for you, but personal development is a must. If you don't do personal development, I've said this 1,000 times, I'll say it another 1,000 times. if you don't do personal development, if you don't invest into your own mindset and attitude every single day, at some point you're going to quit. Guaranteed. At some point you're going to throw in the towel, and you're going to probably point the finger away from yourself, and you're going to point it at something else or somebody else, saying, this didn't work because of not you, something else, right? When at the end of the day, it's on you. You own your stuff. You own your results or lack thereof. Okay. So you got to invest in yourself. That's going to keep you going when times get tough. Okay. Recording, editing, and posting content. So if you're making short form videos, right? I would say, especially when you're newer, that might take about an hour. Now, the game plan here, the goal in the game plan is to be doing a minimum of about 3 to 5 short form videos a day, right? So if you're going to create 3 short form videos, and then you're going to share one to TikTok, Insta, Facebook, whatever, right? Now, I personally could bust out 3 videos. If I was speaking, I could bust out 3 videos, record them, edit them, upload them, probably in about 10 minutes, maybe 15, depending on if I'm like really trying to bust it out. Now, when you're new, that might be a little longer. So that's why I say up to an hour. I'm kind of erring on the side of caution here, right? Catherine, if you were to bust out 3 videos, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Speaking, non-speaking.
Yeah, I mean, most of your majority of your videos are non-speaking, right? So
Yeah.
I would, so if you did 3 non-speaking videos, right, you're probably talking what, 5, maybe 10 minutes max?
Yeah, I would say depending the video, yeah, I would say probably like 10 minutes,
Okay.
3. Because I do have, there's a thought process,
Of course.
but a lot of times, yeah, I mean, I can go on a whim and just record. I mean, I've gotten so good because again, guys, you don't base my chapter, 30 on your chapter 1. But, I've been doing this for a little while. So in the beginning, yeah, it took me a little while. Now I can bing, 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 bing. And I just got this stuff in my head. I don't even know sometimes half the stuff that I'm going to put in my content. I just hit record and I will start pointing at the air and nothing's even there. I don't have a concept or anything because I already know when I go through my editing process, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this looks good. Like, I don't know. It just comes to me. So probably about like 10 minutes for 3 videos.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is to understand that with practice, it gets easier and it gets faster. So for like someone like myself, Catherine, Kirsty, Lisa, and many others, we could literally bang out a short form video relatively quickly. But for you guys, if you guys are going to create a video from scratch, edit the video, upload the video for 3 videos, let's say it could be roughly an hour, right? We'll extend that out. We'll make it an hour. However, if you guys are going to use grab and go content, now you chop that time down. So if if you're on a time crunch and you're looking for quick and easy grab and go content, now we have our grab and go folder, which for those of you guys that don't know, you go to Fast Start Guide, right? In action part 2, faceless content, which means you're not on video. Open up the faceless content folder. Okay. You guys now have the grab and go content. No editing required. No editing at all. You just grab these videos and post them. Okay. And we also teach you how to go make your own faceless videos. And trust me when I tell you, making and editing a faceless video is a lot faster than making and editing a video that you speak in. Trust me when I tell you this. So you could mix and match as you're getting going. If you want to shave time, if you want to cut down on time, you guys can use a combination. If you're going to put 3 to 5 videos out in a day, you could do 3 faceless and 2 you showing your face, right? So if you want to save time, you could use that stuff, right? Okay. How long does it take to post on Facebook? Okay. Again, like taking it out of this action plan right here. If you were going to go post on Facebook, you're going to write the post, you're going to post the post. I mean, realistically, 5 minutes, like here's my post for the day, boom. Like that's a pretty quick process. If you're going to reach out to leaders, you're going to go, expand your niche, expand your network. You're going to go do some reach outs. I showed you guys in the 90-day game plan. Day number 2, by the way, if you want to see that in action, day number 2. Okay. What does it look like to reach out to other leaders? How long does that take? Realistically, about 5 to 10 minutes, right? You go, you add a bunch of friends, you go message one of them, or you message, 2 or 3 of them. Leaving a message does not take a lot of time. Okay. And I even gave you the script. So you have the script, the action to take. It's pretty simple, right? So now we talked about going live. A lot of you guys probably just like pooped your pants. Like, wait, I got to go live. Only if you want to. But if you're going to go live every day, you're going to go live 3 times a week or whatever it is. Obviously, that's going to take a little bit of time. So you're going to have to factor out what days do I want to go live? What times do I want to go live? Right. And then you have following up with your leads. Now, this is going to vary for everybody. Someone like Catherine, who has thousands of leads, she's probably doing, I would say probably the majority of her day is follow-up. Catherine, is that a fair assessment? Like the majority of your time is following up with leads?
Yeah, it's literally endless. I mean, of course, there have little breaks here and there, but it's continuous. And I mean, I love it. I enjoy it. So I personally don't mind. I mean, it's business and it's leads. So, but yeah,
Yep.
for me, it's probably the most time I take out of my day.
Yep. So what's important here, guys, is once once you guys know the tasks that you're going to be doing every single day, what that physically looks like, now what you got to do is now you got to break it all down. Now you got to go put it on a calendar, and everything I just shared with you, especially those of you guys who are new, you might be like, wait, going live? Like, what's that all about? What is a reach out? What's that? This is stuff that we're talking about in the 90-day challenge. So if you want to go reference that, you can. But for the most part, if you're new and you're just starting out, focus on the short form videos, focus on the stuff that we teach you in the Fast Start Guide. That's where you want to focus right there. Start with that stuff because that's kind of like ground zero. Everything starts with the short form video. But once you guys go through this stuff, map all this out, so 1 hour, 5 minutes, so we'll say 10, that's 20, 35, I won't count that. So 35 plus an hour. So about hour and 35 minutes, we'll just say hour and 45 minutes, right? So if you need roughly an hour and 45 minutes, what does that look like on a calendar? And when are you going to be able to do some of that stuff? So I want you to think about this. Like, again, you got to ask yourself if and this is just an example, if you need about an hour and 45 minutes per day to work your business, that's kind of extending it out. You can shorten that. You can certainly shorten that quite a bit, depending on what you do and, the type of content that you're putting out, whatever, the amount of people that you have to follow up with, etc. Those times can be shorter. But if you know that you have we'll even round up and say it's 2 hours a day. What does that look like on your calendar? Are you going to get up a little earlier? Are you going to stay up a little later? Are you going to, if you have family, if you live with significant others, spouses, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever in your home, if you have children, are you going to have an actual sit down conversation? And I would highly recommend this. If you want to treat your business like a business, have an actual sit down professional conversation and say, hey, this is my plan. And this is, I'm telling you guys the truth here. Like, this is what I did with my family back in 2016. I literally sat down and I said, this is my game plan. Here it is on paper, on a calendar. This is my game plan. This is when I'm going to be in the office. This is when I'm going to be spending time with family. This is when I'm going to be working. And by the way, when I'm in my business mode, when I'm working on my business, I need to work on my business. I can't be distracted. I need to focus on my business. Will you agree to that? And for me, the answer was yes. And that conversation changed my life. Like for real, that conversation changed my life. It made so many amazing things happen because I was able to focus, get the work done, and that started the journey of online marketing. But like, I don't want you guys to think that like, oh, I just stumbled across this website, I shared a couple of videos, and now I make 5 figures a month. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you got to show up. You got to treat your business like a business. And when you actually sit down and have the real conversation first with yourself, you got to commit to this yourself. Don't go bringing this to your fam if you don't even know what the hell you're going to do. But if you want this to work, you map this stuff out. You be like, okay, I know it takes about 1 to 2 hours per day. Here's where I'm going to fit this in. And what you can do, and this is really important to understand. You might be in a situation where, hey, you know what? Monday, I only have an hour. I only have 1 hour that I can spare because my life is so busy. I only have 1 hour that I can spare. But Tuesday, I have 3 hours. I have 3 hours on Tuesday. I have no hours on Wednesday. I have 2 hours on Thursday. I got an hour on Friday. I got 3 hours here, right? And let's just say Sunday is a no-go, right? So you might be able to get more done on Tuesdays and Saturdays, where even though you only have an hour here, you still maximize that hour. You still give that hour everything you got. You show up. You give it all you got. Same thing on Mondays if you only have an hour. But these days here on Saturday and Tuesday, and again, this is just an example, I'm going to batch. And batching content is, hey, if I know I need to do 3 short form videos a day, that's my goal, 3 or more short form videos a day. On Tuesdays, I can take those 3 hours, and instead of making 3 videos, I can make 9. And then I can make those videos carry over into Wednesday and into Thursday. And then it might even stretch it into Friday. And then Saturday, I can batch again. Okay. I can batch again, and I can have those videos stretch out over the next few days. And then boom, I'm right here batching again on Tuesday. You're maximizing your time. Okay. And producing, you're focused on your output. Okay. So again, visually, guys, I hope this stuff makes sense. But it's just about looking at your schedule and trying to maximize your time as best as possible. So hope that makes sense. So what else is on here? When can you work your business? Just what we're talking about here. So you write down your block time on a calendar. Okay. Share this with household members. Stick with your committed times. Map out daily tasks, break them all down into dedicated time slots. This is how you begin to really treat your business like a business, guys. This is how it started for me. This is how Catherine did it. This is how Kirsty did it. So literally, like, all of the top leaders, anyone that's broken free and actually created that full-time income, we all treated our business like a business. We showed up to it. We dedicated the time. We put that time aside and said, this is when I'm going to work my business. I'm not going to go binge watch Netflix. I'm not going to go binge watch Yellowstone, none of that stuff. I'm going to go work my business. Okay. So plain and simple, I just wanted you guys to see the visual of how this all worked. What I want to do is I'm going to share this document with you guys. I'm going to drop this here in the chat. You guys will also have this available for the replay, so you guys can have access to this. Also, please go check out that 90-day game plan if you guys are interested. Again, over in our team training site, you guys can go over to the 90-day game plan. You can jump in here, get yourself registered. Also, by the way, guys, if you want, you guys can invite your leads. So if you guys want to go, you can grab the live registration link. You guys can send this link to your leads. If you want your leads to come in and hang out with us every single day and see what we do, I never share a link. I always say, get back to the person that shared this with you. So if you want to bring leads on, you want to see what we do every day and how we do it, we're going to walk them through that process, what it looks like. So if you want to invite leads to that, you can. You also have, speaking of mindset, right? We talked about this here. How are you going to incorporate personal development into your routine? And out of everything that is on this document, out of all this stuff, this one right here is the most important. It's just like tonight's training, last Tuesday we did, hey, here's some content. You can go grab this. Like, everybody loves that stuff. Everybody loves the easy stuff. All about the easy stuff. Where's the easy button? How do I push a button and make $1 million? How do I push a button and make 5 figures a month? Well, the elevator's broke, man. You got to take the stairs. Okay. So everybody loves the easy stuff, the grab and go content. This stuff here, this requires thought. This requires effort. This requires sacrifice. This requires commitment, consistency, execution. All of those things that are going to require you to put the work in. Okay. So with all that, you got to focus on your mindset. You got to focus on your attitude, personal development, numero uno. And it's such an easy thing to weave into your day. It really is, especially if you guys are commuting to work. It's such an easy thing to incorporate. Either listen to something in your car, put some headphones in, whatever. Just weave that into your day somehow. It'll pay off huge. It'll pay off absolutely huge. And then please, 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 like, don't take the stuff lightly where you guys can literally bust out a calendar and have that real honest conversation with your family. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat my business like a business. I'm going to show up to it. I'm going to give it everything I got. And then, ask the question. Like, legit, ask the question, guys. And this might take a lot of courage from some of you, because I know some of your stories. And it's hard when you have an unsupportive family member or spouse. But ask the question and say, this is my plan. Will you support me? And I'm telling you right now, when they support you, that helps fuel your fire. But what also is going to help that conversation, guys, I'm just keeping it real. Have your plan mapped out before you go into a conversation like that. That's going to help you quite a bit. Because if you don't have that plan, and then your spouse or significant other, whoever's like, well, what about this? And you're like, I don't know. What's that going to look like? What's that going to feel like? Okay. So again, guys, just think about this stuff, please, because it's really, really important. If you guys want those results in your business, you guys have the roadmap. You guys know what to do. You just gotta go do it. And remember what I said back in the beginning. I'm going to drop the link right there. You guys can go check that out. Okay. But remember what I said back at the beginning. If you don't have the results that you want, it's one of two things. There's either something you don't know or something you're not doing. You can't use the excuse anymore of you don't know how. You just can't do it. We have too much training available for you between all the teachables, the Mindset Mondays, the Focus Fridays, the training site, our Facebook group. You have the information at your fingertips. You can't use the excuse anymore of I don't know how. Okay. So now it just comes down to, are you going to put the work in? Yes or no. So if you don't have the results you want, something you don't know, can't use that one, or something you're not doing. It's always going to fall to there's something that you're not doing. Okay. Hope this makes sense. Hope you guys got value from this. Hope you guys have a better understanding now of how to get out there and go smash it. And I hope you guys do whatever you got to do, because I can promise you, Catherine can promise you, Kirsty can promise you, Lisa, Carl, Bill, so many other people that have created that full-time income can promise you it's worth it. It's worth the journey, the effort, the sacrifice, the fight, the struggle, all of that. It is so worth it. So I hope you guys find that. Catherine, anything else I missed? Anything else I didn't cover? Any bombs you got in your pocket?
I think you did amazing, Daniel. So much value. And the main point of this being, guys, like, take it seriously. If you want your business to work for you, you know what I mean? Give it the time and effort that it needs, but also remember to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Like, again, I wasn't rocking out, all this content in the beginning. Shoot, I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know what to do, but every single day I just made sure that I took one more step forward, put one more piece of content out, followed up with one more lead. Literally every single day, I just took it one step at a time. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed and, oh my God, I'm not doing good. I'm not getting in your head. Stay focused. This is why the mindset piece is just so important, because if I did not do that, I would not be here today. So just stay focused, take it one step at a time, one piece of content at a time. And you know that we're here for you guys. So when you have questions, if you need critiques, like, I'm always happy to critique your content. Like, you want to know why am I not getting leads? I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Sometimes we need a little wake up, and just keep improving, keep taking those steps, keep improving and doing what you can every single day. And I promise, the more that you stay in it, the easier it will become. And that's really all I got.
Well, ended very, very well. Awesome stuff, guys. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys get over to the Facebook group, drop a comment of what value you guys got from tonight. You guys know where that link is. It's at the featured pinned post up at the top. Go check that out. Go drop some comments in there. Because remember, as Kirsty always says, when you give, you gain. So make sure you guys go give a little so you guys can get a little. Otherwise, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Again, I just dropped the comment. The document for you guys down in the comments. You guys can go grab that. It'll also be available over at teachabletuesdayreplays.com probably by tomorrow morning. Kirsty is down in Cancun at a GFU event, by the way, which she won 100% free trip, including airfare and hotel, all-inclusive hotel, all drinks and food covered for the entire week, because she rocked out and crushed it. And there you go. And that's what can happen is when you get out there and go take action. You can win free trips. Just like right now, we have the opportunity for you guys to win a free cruise in November. So if you guys want to get on that cruise with us, I know I'm going to be there and many of you guys will be there as well. But you guys, from now until the end of June, have the opportunity to qualify for that cruise, including not only the cruise itself, but also airfare. So get out there, guys. Go make it happen. This is a great, great, great opportunity. And you guys are in prime position. Just got to put the work in. That's it. Have a good night, guys. Catch you later.